Now, are we live now, or is
We
it
are
circle?
live. It's just gotta load.
It's just
There's a
buffering.
delay. So
Close unused applications. So we're still good? There we go. End the live. Okay. So you think we're good?
we're good.
So I'm gonna look. I'm gonna hope that some nice citizen is gonna Facebook us in or link us in or type it in that they can hear me and see me. That would be fantastic. Because I haven't messed anything up. I don't think. But good evening, everyone. It is about 1 minute after 6. Just wanted to make sure that we're coming across and that people can see us and hear us. So this is oh, Anna, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Very good. Cameron, perfect. Thank you guys. I appreciate you looking out for me as usual. So this is our second session of our Facebook Live, our chats, talking with the community. I think it's important. What we try to do is be open and transparent and talk about some of the things we have going on in the police department, what has happened in the last couple weeks to a month, kind of what we're folks focusing on now, and then what's on the corner, what's coming up. So my point, we did this earlier at noon. I think we had some good conversation, but my goal is to have a good open conversation, address any questions you might have. There's just a couple topics that I wanted to touch base on. So I think it's important to address. I try to be focused on data driven and be as open with our crime numbers, if you will. Sometimes when I go to meetings and I ask how many of this crime or how many of that crime, I just get these crazy numbers. And oh, well, that's what we thought, that's what we heard. And it's trying to be open and transparent and really hit on accuracy. I think that's important to tell the story of, hey, this is the case, this is the situation, and this is what the data shows. So let me say hello to some people first. We got Anna and Cameron. I appreciate you guys being here. Kyla, good afternoon. Thank you very much. Maria, it's good to have you on board. Um, Good evening to all of you. Miss Brumfield, it's good to see you again, my friend. Latoya, thank you for being here. You were here earlier today, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Um, so I hope I'm not too repetitive. I know we have some people that were here from earlier today, and then some new folks. So I appreciate all of you taking time. You know, with the it's still awkward for me talking into a ball or a round box. Robin, how are you? It's good to have you on board. Thank you. Uh, but from what I understand, because I am not the most technical, logical person, Jacob, it's good to have you, my friend. Thank you. When we do these sessions, individuals can watch them later, go back in to see what kind of comments or what information was put out. So that's really why I would rather be sitting in person where we could interact. But I think there's some value to the technology side and getting information out. So it's my promise to do the best I can to not miss any questions, not miss any posts. If I do, it is strictly by accident. Put it to my heart, not to intent. But Sarah is here with me, and she will keep me on track. But again, I really appreciate all of you that are here. So said hi to Robin. Jacob, got you. Jessica, thank you for being here. Cameron, good to see you. I asked about the new police vans earlier, but I had to leave. When are they expected to start? Cameron, that's a great question. Carrie, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here again. Cameron, so one of the things in Newport News right now, if an individual has a warrant on file or is arrested, we have to transport to the magistrate's office. Right now, we use our police vehicles, and there is a what we call a cage car or a plexiglass that separates the individual from the individual driving, so that officers can transport individuals safely. The problem is we're talking about the back seat of a car. Some are two seats, some are just one seat, and some individuals that might be very tall or larger or have um, some type of physical impairment or might be injured. It is very hard for us to transport people. Um, with that same concept, if we were to go to a location and there would be multiple individuals arrested, right? Let's say that a huge drug house and 3 or 4 individuals were arrested. Right now, I would have to use 3 or 4 different cars to transfer 3 or 4 different people. And that takes a lot of people out of our communities, out of our neighborhoods to facilitate that move. And especially if you're up north, it's a 30-minute ride down to the magistrate's office. That's 30 minutes you're off the street, 2 hours of processing, and a 30-minute ride back. That's a lot of movement, and it's a lot of people off the street, and it's a lot of people out of our neighborhoods. and our communities are interacting with our youth where I want them to be. So we decided a year ago to go with a wagon or a van type transport, much like the sheriff's department have. They do have these transport vehicles in Virginia Beach. They have them in Norfolk, and they have them in Richmond. So we ordered three, one for each precinct. It seats 7, 8, 9 individuals that can be, and it's much, like think of a van, and you're opening the back doors and you're allowing people to step in, or if people have had maybe too much to drink or whatever, and it's hard for them to move, that we're able to place them there. They come with 4 cameras inside and out, loading someone into the back or the side. Like I said, they come with four different cameras. They have seat belts and they have dividers for safety, and they're metal. So if someone is sick or throws up or anyway, not being too any other problems that they may have, it's a metal van and we're able to wash it out. So they're here. They're painted on the outside. They're marked. Now it's just putting in the inserts, the seats, the seat belts, make sure those cameras are all straight. But I hope to have them out probably in about a month and a half. We'll send each one to get fitted with the insert for the different seats. But I'm really excited. I think it's going to help us a lot. So if we have 4 individuals, one vehicle can transport 4 individuals. If we have someone who is some type of physical challenge, we're able to make that move. If someone is intoxicated or had too much to drink, it's really, really hard to get someone into the back seat of a car. And it's cramped, it's tight. So I just think this is going to be much more comfortable, much more beneficial, much more efficient. And I've seen them work in other cities. And I think it's going to be really tremendous. The windows are blacked out, so people can't look in the vehicle and see who's inside. It's just much, much better. And it is cameras that have set in the back when you load someone in. And you're also, as you're driving, you can have a full camera view of what's going on in the back seat to make sure we have full contact to make sure everybody's okay. Seat belts for safety. So it's just a much better transport vehicle than just using the vehicles that we have now. So it'll save us money. It's better for public safety. It's just a more comfortable ride for individuals that may be larger. So I'm really looking forward to it. But probably 30, 60 days, Cameron, you'll see all 3 of them on the road. Anna, wait, Anna's talking to somebody else. Jacob, are the number of shootings up more so this year compared to last year? Jacob, it's funny. I just got a reporter that asked me the same question, and I haven't responded yet, so I want to make sure I'm answering it correctly. This time last year, we had 43 individuals shot in our city. This year, we have 44. However, one of those we're looking at that an individual says he was shot in the leg, that it is a downward trajectory. So if you're running from someone, or if you fall, oftentimes we see when someone has a downward angle to the leg, it's someone who has a firearm and is loading it or cleaning it, and they shoot themselves in the finger, or they shoot themselves in the leg, or they're playing around with the firearm. So we have one that's questionable, but as we stand today, we're still investigating it. But if someone tells us, hey, I was shot at this location, and there's no crime scene, and officers were in the area, and the citizens didn't hear anything, didn't see anything, we have to at least question it. We have to look at it and verify it. But like I said, to answer your question, we had 43 shootings this time last year. And when I say shootings, that's a person shot in the arm, the leg, the shoulder. It's not a homicide. We have 43 shootings this time last year. This year we have 44. So we're up 1 shooting from last year. If that, let me know, Jacob, if that answers your question. Debbie, doing good. Thank you for being here. Angela, it's good to have you on board. Thank you tonight. Well, how are you? It's good. I don't want to say that wrong. Oh my goodness. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name wrong, but it is good to have you. Thank you for being here. Robin, I'm good, Chief. Robin, I'm doing good. Things are good. It's been a busy week. Sarah, those are jumping really quick. Can you go back to? I want to go back above. Can't react. So, Robin, I'm doing really good. It's been a very busy week. We've got a really exciting day tomorrow. Tomorrow, I am so excited. I got like 3 events tomorrow. It's going to be a long day, but they're all huge. I'm really, really excited. So I'm doing okay. Cameron, yep, that was a great question, Cameron. Cameron is one of our young adult police commissioners, a young man in high school, and man, he really gets it. Melinda, it's good to have you here tonight. Thank you for being here. Keith, so you survived your boat ride with the intern. Keith, I did. Let me tell you, I put my life jacket on, and those kids like rocking the boat, and the guys on the boats know, I'm kind of a low, even keel guy, but they to put kids on our police boat and go out on the water. It was a great experience, but let me tell you, I was holding on and I was bracing tight, my friend. I wasn't going anywhere. But no, it was great. I had a really good time, and it was great with the kids. Patty, hi Chief, continue your wonderful. Wow, thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. Let me tell you, it is my pleasure, and I am very humbled to serve the citizens of this city. Growing up in Cincinnati, Ohio, spending 25 years in Richmond, Virginia, with that police department, I learned a lot and I experienced a lot. I left there as the assistant chief, and I've been here in Newport News in this city for 3 years, and it is great people, a militaristic city, heavy military presence in our city, and our men and women that serve our country. Fort Eustis, um, the Naval Weapons Station, and then it's like a whole nother city, right? The shipyard, and to see the massive ships that they build, submarines, it's just so impressive. But it is a great city, and I am really humbled to work here and serve the citizens. I'm very blessed, and I really thank God for this opportunity. Have a great relationship with our mayor, our city council, our city manager. And I've said before, they ask hard questions. They ask hard questions, and they expect things, and that's fair. That's fair. But they are great people to work with, and they have the best interests of this city and our citizens. And I cannot be more thankful for the relationship we have. Jacob, thank you for the response, Chief. I appreciate it. Live streams are very informative. Jacob, thank you. That was a great question. I'm telling you, I just got a call from a reporter that Sarah was talking to me about. That they wanted kind of the same question. So I'll be calling them or emailing them when we finish here tonight. But I wanted to spend time with you all first, and then interact with them. Jonathan, Jonathan, can you give me a call? Yeah, Jonathan, just email me a number, text me a number, so I'll make sure still got the right one, my friend, and I'll shoot you a call. I'm going to be here late tonight as I get ready for these events tomorrow. I can't wait to tell you all, because I'm telling you, it's 3 events and they're great. Cameron, are you coming to the gala? That's one of the 3 events. It's going to be a long day for me, my friend, but I will be there. I'm looking forward to it. I got my suit and tie ready. I won't dress as good as you, but I'm good to go, man. I'm excited to interact with all you and the students and stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great event. Oh, Anna, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you, Erica. Erica, how are you? I hope, Eric, how are you? What's going on with you? Are you doing okay? I haven't heard from you in like forever. Wow, that's amazing. Robin, again, thank you. The current president of the foundation will be moving to Chesapeake soon. We might be bringing some of our events like we did in Ashland your ways. So, Keith, 2 things. One, I would love to have the events here. We have a huge parking lot, a huge, very nice land space here at our police headquarters. I think that'd be fantastic. Or if we're at some other location that hosts us, I think that would be great. Second part, the dunk tank. Listen, man, I talked to you up there in Ashland, right? Squirt gun, maybe. Water balloons, I'm with you. Dunk tanks, I just don't know about. The big circular thing, yeah, maybe we do some water balloon tosses or something. I'll be good with that. We'll have to talk. Is it Lindsay? Is that right? Lindsay, how are you doing? I'm sorry, it's like the glare, right? It's probably off my head, but I'm glad you're here tonight. Thank you very much. AJ, hi Chief. I'm a member of the car community, and I was wondering if there was a spot in the air for us that we don't act up. That we are respectful of the city, think in advance. I was wondering if there was a spot in the area. So I'm not. When you say a spot, AJ, help me a little bit. I will tell you, I have got some complaints, and I don't know if you're talking about speeding, but we've got some complaints in the northern part of the city. Earlier today, there were two citizens that really talked about concerns about speeding and hot rodding in the city and racing, and it really concerns citizens. School's out now, you've got more kids on. If you're talking about, driving, I guess they're like show cars or really, really fancy cars, I can tell you, I don't own one. I would love to. I am a fan, but somewhere where they park and show their car off, There's not a place set aside in the city for that, that I know of. I'm just not really sure if I'm addressing your question. Maybe help me out a little bit better if I didn't hit that. Um, all right, so there he is, a place for us to meet up and just have a car meet. Uh, no, there's not a place that I know that's designated in the city for that. Not saying I'm against it or opposed to it. I think there can be some, if it's like an event, a festival, and part of it. I've been at some churches where they've had some festivals and they've had cars, and I've seen some people get some cars together in the Kroger. No, I shouldn't say Kroger, but I guess it's just across the line. And is it York? I don't.
Kroger's in the-
Yeah, just right across the line there, I've seen some people have cars there, but we don't have a spot set up for that in the city. I think it needs to be somewhere that's spread out a little bit. And then I got to make sure we're concerned about everyone's safety and that type thing. So I am a fan, but there's not a space that I know of that's dedicated for that in the city. We can certainly talk about it, but I would want to also make sure with our businesses and our residents, make sure that everybody's on the same page there. Don't think we did. AJ, Ronnie, how are you doing? It's good to have you on board, my friend. Thank you. Ivory, Chief Drew, thank you for coming and supporting our feeding. Oh, let me tell you, New Beach, I had a great time. Whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, the Juneteenth holiday that we celebrated. Pastor Maxwell is such a huge supporter of community and police and working together and making things better for all people. I was humbled and honored to be there. I thank you for letting me be a part of it. Attended his church many times. We did some golf tournaments together, and I have a great relationship. He is a mentor to me. I enjoy working with him. We have a lot of great conversations, and we have a relationship where he pick up the phone and call me and see if we can resolve an issue that maybe a citizen has, or that I can call him and ask for advice and what he has the best. It's just a really good relationship, and I appreciate that. So to have that opportunity to serve the citizens of Newport News, believe me, it was my honor, and thank you for letting me be a part of that. How is the homicide rate compared to last year? So, wow, you guys are locked on tonight. So the two things about our homicide rate. Last night we had our 14th homicide of the year. Now, out of 14 homicides, we have cleared nine. We have 9 homicide cases that we have cleared this year. We have 14 total. Now, this time last year, we only had 7. So that's double from where we were last year. 7 at this same time frame last year, we had 7. Today, we have 14. One of the difference this year is so many of them have been inside, like last night. We have, out of the 14, I believe we have 4, maybe 5 that have been in the street. So when I look at street level violence, I look at rape, I look at robbery, I look at our aggravated assault, which are our shootings, and I look at homicides. Like I said, we've had 4 or 5 where we've had an individual shot in the street. One down behind the old Moton movie theater in the South Precinct. Individual in a car, if you count that, inside a vehicle. I believe the motive there was robbery. Another individual in a vehicle in the northern part of the city, kind of a dead-end, very recluse neighborhood. There was an individual who lost his life, a young man, on the northern part of Warwick Boulevard. Once we get past those, the others, we've got 4 or 5 that have been domestic related, stepson and stepfather, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, 2 individuals at a party arguing. Last night, looks like it's going to be an argument that just, it just blew up. And instead of walking away, right, things that get started, instead of walking away, one individual produces a firearm and commits an act that not only takes the life of someone, ruins someone's family structure around that individual, right? But when they're caught and apprehended, they're going to spend the rest of their life in jail. It's just not worth it. If somebody says something to you or just walk away. So when we see shootings or homicides that happen inside, it's hard to patrol a neighborhood, and we really have to rely on, if citizens hear domestic situations or hear argument or hear gunfire, that they call us and let us know and invest, and so we can investigate. If they don't, then we find out so much later. So last night in the northern part of our city, we had a homicide. There were several individuals outside. I know that several individuals saw what happened. I know that several individuals know who pulled the trigger. But inside a foyer of an apartment complex, there was a homicide. So as we stand today, we have had 14 homicides occur this year. We have cleared 9 homicides. 1 or 2 of those have been from years past, as of late, as early as of last December. So detectives, the good news is detectives have good leads, but no matter how many we solve, and it's important for us, I want to make sure we're staying above the national average, which is about 69 or 60, about 65%, right? I want to stay above that national average, and we're right there. But every one of those homicides, that's a person, it's a family, it's a community, right? It's a neighborhood, and it affects people. And solving one can bring maybe a small bit of closure, but it doesn't bring anybody back. And there's nothing that can heal that. You know, time, and you learn to, but you lose a loved one, someone's son, brother, father, wife, aunt, uncle, cousin, niece, nephew. It's not worth it. There's no argument that's worth taking someone else's life. Just walk away. It's words. But we focus on that, and when we see gun violence, and you know, I try to talk to the other chiefs in the area. I try to look at things going on around the country and see what they're experiencing, what they're seeing, how they're addressing those situations. But yeah, and I didn't mean to go too far on that, but that's a really good question. But I was at the scene last night, and the detectives have got the crime scene roped off, and the forensic technicians are processing the scene, and officers are there. We're there to try to solve and comfort the family that lost a loved one and solve that murder. It's just pointless. What bothers me is officers on that scene, and as some officers pulled up to walk up and help and interact with the crowd that was there, and establish that they were yelled at, they were cussed at. We just, you know, the professional side of us, we have to put that out of our mind and keep staying focused. But you still see it, and we're there to help. We were called there. We didn't come there for any other reason. You know, we patrol the neighborhood, we're in and out, and move on to the next neighborhood, and then circle back around. We were there to help. And for some of the things that citizens said while we were there, whether you pro-police or not pro-police, whatever it might be, it concerns me, it bothers me that there's some of that. When I look at those officers who were there for what reason we were there for. So I didn't mean to go too far on that, Mr. Cotton, but that's a great question, my friend. I'm like I said, I'll probably be talking with reporters when we get off the phone here and talking about some of those things. Anna, we're here in Denby, and I hear a loud car noise that sounds like racing at different times of the evening, especially. Yeah, and I've heard I've gotten a lot of complaints, a lot of concerns about drag racing and loud cars, and you know, I just think we have to be, not that I'm against, you know, sports vehicles, but I think we have to really be cautious, one, of our community, our surrounding businesses, and I think we also have to be make sure of safety. There's a lot more people out now. Pandemic has just been lifted, some restrictions are being lifted, I should say, and there's more kids out in the summertime. So I just want to make sure that we're safe. Ronnie, we are from Virginia Beach and have been here about 4 years off Colony. It's definitely different for us. Glad to see the participation here and the ongoing support for yourself and the other officers. Wow, Ronnie. So when you say different, is it like better than you expected, or you're not seeing what you like? When you say, talk to me a little bit about that. When you say it's different, give me a little bit more than that. Judy, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you. Cameron, I see car meets happen all the time at the old Kmart parking lot. However, I don't know if they are allowed to be there, but they meet there quite often. Yeah, Cameron, I don't know. Sometimes we got to be careful with that. You know, I want to make sure we don't put something out that our city isn't wanting us there. I think there's some fence there. They're really trying to develop that and decide what's going to go there. So I just got to be careful to make sure we all are on the same page. Tony, hi Chief. It's been a while since I posed a question. It's summertime again, and the motorcycles are out. There is a section of Jefferson Avenue that radical riders are riding 45 plus, doing wheelies in traffic. Can you all help? It's pretty scary and an accident waiting to happen. Thank you for all you do. Tony, that's a great observation, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you, Sarah, the citizens here are locked on. They know what's going on. I have seen it myself. Couple things. One, traffic stop. If a car takes off, we're now in the middle of a pursuit. However, which can be very dangerous depending on what the uh, weather's like, the climate's like, the surroundings like. But that driving is also reckless. And I will tell you, we have traffic fatalities. We've had several this year that have been on motorcycles. Individuals driving recklessly, they get going too fast, they lose control, or cars don't see them due to speed. The cars turn and there's a collision. So a couple of things we've done is invest in technology. One thing, we're using some new camera systems that can zoom in on license plates. We have license plate red light camera systems at some intersections, as well as cameras on buses. It's funny, I shouldn't say it's funny, it's surprising to me how many violations we see of individuals drive right past the school bus when the stop sign comes out and kids are getting on. But we have cameras that can capture that, and we bought because I'd start to see some of the complaints come through a force multiplier. We bought 3 electronic speed signs, speed trailers, if you will. We put one in each precinct, and they're able to deploy them in areas. And my hope that it shows your speed and then flashes if you're going above the speed limit. So we're trying to do some things that way. The other option then is to we do some traffic checkpoints, and then if we can really define, like your post was great because it talked about time frame where at. So that's really good. We can get that to the precinct captains, and they can try to address and put officers in the right location at the right time to address those things. But yeah, I'll tell you, I've seen more and more complaints come in about speeding than I have on some other issues, and I totally get it. But you're right. Accidents, fatalities that we've seen, it's just dangerous, and so we're trying some things with technology and some of the license plate reader, red light camera type systems that we have. It's heartbreaking. Wait a minute. Can we go above Ronnie?
I think that was done yesterday. Oh,
She's been a while since I've been quick. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chief, for your response. Oh, no, that's great. It was a great question. It was great, great point. All right, I was at Petco by Patrick Henry, and a lady just treated me. Wait, treated to do bodily harm to this young lady, and
I wonder if you threat.
threatened. Okay. I stayed until she left because I didn't want to see her get hurt. Sad how people are. Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah, it is sad, my friend. It just if we could if we could just walk away from some of those things. Individuals get so upset, and even I get frustrated at times, right? I get frustrated with situations here that happen with our budget issues sometimes, right? But just take a deep breath and step back, and it's just not worth all that other stuff that creates so much drama, and things happen. Then things escalate, right? You put stuff on Facebook or social media, people go back and forth. And I'll tell you, the youth today, I can't imagine. When I was a kid, I'm not trying to date myself, Ronnie. I'm a young man, right? But when I was a kid, you had words with someone, whatever, you worked it out, or you went your separate ways. That was it. Now it's in social media. It's all over. Anybody can open their phone and read about it, hear about it, and it goes on for months. And people get, whether it's stuff at football games or athletic events or in the park, or where we see it the most at. Where we see it the most at is in relationships. Individuals dating a certain guy or individuals dating a certain girl, and things are said and back and forth, and we have to defend honor and all that. I'm just telling you, violence does not solve anything. People get hurt and they're confined to a wheelchair for the rest of their life. Families lose loved ones. People miss graduations because it's not worth it. Just walk away from that nonsense. But I appreciate you staying there to see if anything happened, to be able to report it. But you're right, it's sad. But also I think we have to remember that those things that we see so much, there's a good friend of mine, Dr. Lyons, talks about the things that get highlighted and we see so much is about 5 to 7% of what's actually going on. We don't see all the good things of individuals helping each other, passing out food at Pastor Maxwell at Newbie Grove Baptist Church. We don't see the community walks. We had one today in the neighborhood where we lost an individual last night. We don't see the officers. I get calls all the time and emails just about every day. And thank you for helping my son with autism. Thank you for helping me find my elderly grandmother who has Alzheimer's. It's just, we don't focus. We don't see so much. We don't highlight those good things, right? We don't highlight. I'll tell you, the youth in this city, I am amazed. Let me tell you. Earlier today, I got to go down and just step in to see there's about 20 or 22 young people. The majority of them are 8th graders that are going to go into 9th grade, so it'll be freshmen. We have a Citizens Police Academy. We talk and teach citizens and open up the doors of this department about what we do, what we teach, why we do what we do, explain this department. So we decided to do one for youth. And I have if anybody knows me, I have a big passion for youth. And there are 22 young people that signed up in the summer, right, to go through this youth academy. For a whole week, they come here. They start around 8:30 and leave here about 4:30, and they graduate tomorrow. And I'll tell you, man, they are just solid. I am so impressed with the youth of this city. And I don't know that that'll get reported. Maybe nothing more than me saying it here tonight. But those young people, they are impressive. They want to make things better. They want to work together. Those things. So, Ronnie, I appreciate you being out there and making sure that nobody got hurt, man. It is, some of those situations are really sad. Ashley, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is anyone else concerned about the legalization of marijuana? Effective July 1st. It's bad enough with drunk drivers. Now we will have people driving high. Also, I live in an apartment complex and can't stand the smell that permit. Yeah. Wow. So, Irene, let me tell you, last night, I'm going to share this with you. I'm trying to find somebody to pay me some overtime because I was here late. I'm late every night this week. But I say, city manager, I got my overtime. She said, no, you're salary. You don't get any overtime. It's okay. I give her a hard time. But I was here last night. I was on a really good call, and I'm going to say it wrong. I don't know if you call it a Zoom or a Teams or a live stream meeting. But anyway, there's a bunch of us, and we're having a conversation. It was sponsored or put on by our clerk of courts, Miss Angela Reasons, and Delegate Marcia Price was there, and Attorney Mr. Clancy. And they were talking about this very issue about marijuana. So here's the deal. Our elected officials have decided to decriminalize marijuana, and I think we're moving from everything to soon be legalized. That there's this much amount, and this is against the law. This much is okay. This is you can smoke it here, but you can't smoke it there in the backyard, but you can't. So look, there's a lot, and Mr. Clancy, the attorney, was very clear. It was some of it's confusing, and Delegate Price was very upfront, like, hey, there's a lot of work to still be done, but we wanted to get something moving. So here in Newport News, however you feel about marijuana, in this uniform, we have to be down the line, right? It can't be pro or con, whatever our person feels. Our elected officials have decided to decriminalize it, and it will soon be legalized. So people are like, well, Chief, what are you doing? So we're kind of looking at marijuana like alcohol, right? You don't drink alcohol in public or being drunk in public. It'll be the same thing with marijuana. But we won't stop individuals, and we won't be searching individuals because they're smoking marijuana or because we smell it, right? Delegate Price was talking about asking people to be considerate of others if they're smoking in their backyard in their home, that they would smoke in the middle of the yard, so maybe it wouldn't be at the fence line. But look, we all know that you're going to smell it. I smelled it in different locations, and years past we would handle it one way. Now it's different. So we will handle it much like alcohol. And I think we kind of have to see. I think Mr. Clancy said there were 16 cities that have gone this direction. So I'm trying to do some research myself and see how it's affected the community. But it'll be a learning curve. So I can say this to you, Irene. I understand your concerns. I understand both sides of the issue. At the end of the day, we knew some of these laws were changing, so we kind of tried to be proactive. In December 1st of last year, we started changing our reaction to calls about marijuana and responses to marijuana. And some of it is sharing with citizens when they call 911 or dispatch center and say, hey, there's a group of individuals that are smoking marijuana and I smell it coming over the fence line, or I smell it, or I see it. We are unable to do some of the things because of the new laws to address that in ways that we had in the past. And it's just making sure that we communicate that with citizens. So I understand there's some frustration. It's difficult for us. Well, how much is that? Is that? So we try to look at it almost like it's alcohol, right? That's probably the best way I can explain it. But I do understand. I didn't mean to go down the marijuana road, but it's a good conversation, and like I said, I was part of it last night, and to hear our clerk of courts and our delegate and attorney talk about it, a lot of these things came up as well. I'm so sorry. I appreciate that, Andy. Thank you, Krista. I never really knew much about the previous Precious. I never really knew much about the previous chiefs in Newport News, but I believe you have been the most involved and candid with the residents. I love the fact that you do these chats. You have such a caring personality. Well, wow, Krista, I really appreciate that. A caring personality. You're not making fun of me, right? Right? No, listen, I will tell you two things. After I got off the call or the meeting last night, I went up to Port Warwick, and gosh, there were like people everywhere. They were listening to this band. Man, I shouldn't Slap Nation, and they were playing music from the 70s and 80s, and people were out dancing. But there was just there's a lot of people, and I can't tell you the number of people that came up and just wanted to interact and say hello, ask how I was doing. I asked them the same thing. But look, my mother was a third grade teacher. She taught third grade for 30 years. Many people have heard me say it before. She still talks to me like I'm in the third grade. She will call me and say, well, how are you and your little friends doing? She's talking about the assistant chiefs. How are all the little officers doing, right? So, yeah, everybody's good, Mom. Let me talk to Dad. My dad is from a very small town, and he was in the military and spent time in Vietnam, and then he worked at a paper company in Cincinnati, Ohio until now. They're both retired, and they do their garage sales and go to church and eat out. They go to bed by I think 8 o'clock. But I say that to say I share that with my family to say we grew up in church. I am a man of faith. I fear God. I believe that we're very blessed in this city, and He has blessed me with the opportunity to work here and serve here. And I can tell you, for me, people matter to me. I have a passion for youth. People helped me a lot as I was growing up, whether it was baseball coaches and basketball coaches, teachers and youth pastors and people in the community. I think there's a lot to be said for strong communities, the village concept, right? But I enjoy life. I like to have fun, and the officers here, I try to interact with them. I stop and talk to them as much as I can. I don't want to walk past someone without saying hello. But I do tease them. I give them a hard time, right? And they give it right back to me. But I think that makes for good working relationships. And I think that if you're genuine like that, that our community can see that, right? I don't think people say that pets are a great judge of character. I think kids are a great judge of character. And I think communities see that. They know if you're sincere or not. I'm telling you, I am blessed to work in this department. I am blessed to have the opportunity to work in this city. And the people of this city, the youth of this city, they matter to me. Robert, the news today was talking about large number of shootings. Does the police department have any idea on facts what is driving this? Robert, I'll tell you, I talk to the other chiefs. We look around what's going around the country. I try to read a lot of articles. We sit around and talk about what do you guys think? We break down and a lot of the shootings and homicides that we have in our city, they're not intertwined or related. It's arguments, domestic violence, boyfriend, girlfriend, territorial, the pandemic, people getting back out, frustrations built up maybe. I don't know. The access to some of the firearms that are there, how people behave when they have those firearms. People feel anger or frustration. Just individuals in condensed poverty. There's just a lot of things we look at. So I don't know if you saw earlier, individual asked a question where we're at. So we have one more shooting this year than last year. I think the shooting that's above is going to be self-inflicted, but that puts us even. But one shooting is one too many. One homicide is one too many. And what I wish people would take a minute and just stop and look at how that one act, how that affects a family, a community, right? And the individual who pulls that trigger or even thinks about it, or is mad enough that I got to pick up a firearm and take someone else's life, how would they feel if someone did that to one of their family members? And just walk away. Just walk away. But yeah, I think we spend a lot of time trying to figure out why and what we can do different. We try different strategies, and that's why I look at the data just about every day. That's what we're doing, driving our numbers, reducing our numbers. Do we need to tweak our strategies and initiatives? Um, yeah, I just think we have to stay at it. We're not going to pack our bags and go home and whatever happens, happens. We're going to do the best we can. And I've been doing this almost 30 years, and that question, been asking myself that question, I guess since I got out of the academy almost 30 years ago, my friend. You just keep working at it and try to look at maybe what's worked in some of the other precincts and not in others. We can adapt. What's working around the country? What are some other strategies? For me, I believe that community policing and interacting with our citizens, that foundation, focusing on youth, I think it lays a groundwork that we can reduce crime, and I also believe we can reduce violence. But when you have relationships, I also think people will come forward and tell you things. We solve cases much quicker. I think we focus on blight and lighting and trash and dumping, those things that create an environment. If we allow those things to go on, that nobody cares about this neighborhood, and continue to invest and people take ownership and be accountable for each other and what goes on next door and their neighbors. But I do think things can get better. I just think, look, people put us in this situation, and people, we can get ourselves out of it. We just have to learn to value and communicate and talk to each other, regardless of where you're from, where you live, what your zip code is, your income, your race, your gender, your belief. And we can have disagreements, right? I can sit down with a New York Yankee fan and we can have disagreement about baseball. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, but we still like the game, and that's I think you can apply that in so many different angles and issues in life. Carrie, your heart is so big that, well, Carrie, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Carrie is with the NAACP. She's done work in Richmond and here in Newport News. She's helped us with our use of force review board. Carrie's a civilian. She also came on and helped me do some interviews earlier this week. I'm able to do some promotion. So Carrie, thank you so much for all that you do. I know you have a big passion for the relationship between police and community, and I enjoy our conversations and all that you do. I am worried about, she's referring to someone about, okay, Keith, driving an influence will be illegal, just, right. Hey, Chief, have a good night. I'm at the Village, speak to class, hopefully you'll get some new members. Yeah, and I had some questions earlier, the earlier session, where people talking about some volunteerism, and I'm like, look, I don't want to ever push anybody away. You want to volunteer with this police department? I've got some things. We have a couple things coming up. I'll be glad to share. But man, I've got some good stories to tell you guys about tomorrow. I'm excited. And then the community day that we have on Saturday. A lot of people talking trash about a kickball game. And look, we can tease each other. No violence. We're just gonna play kickball, right? If it gets violence on the kickball field, it's bad. It's bad. But I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, Miss Brumfield, that's great. You'd be great to have on board. Thank you so much. Oh, Ronnie, yeah, I got it, Ronnie. I was like, treated, what? Deborah, it's good to have you with us tonight. Thank you so much. Ronnie, good luck, my friend. Thank you. Be safe, and we'll talk soon, okay? Thank you for the officer in forensics reached out to meet a couple new recruits. Between my daughter and the chief that is 13 has been an amazing. Well, I will tell you, Deborah, that was pretty emotional, and I will tell you, they came back and talked to me and told me about how much fun they had too. So that's good, and that's what it's all about. That's really good. So thank you for taking the time to reach out and allowing us to interact a little bit. That's great. Irene, I really appreciate you taking time to address my concerns. Best police chief. Irene, I don't know. I still got a lot to learn, a long way to go, but if I can keep my head and the heart in the right place, we'll hopefully we'll get there. But thank you so much. Anna, you talking about 80s music? What are you talking about 80s? Yeah. What are you saying to me? That's oh, okay. All right. Are you live now, or am I watching the recording? No, Deborah, this is live. Look, watch this. I'm going to touch my head. It's a live deal. It's a real deal. Keith, shootings may be up, but aren't your other part 1 crimes lower this year? So what Keith is talking about, every department in the United States sends their statistics to the FBI, and that's where we get like a national average or clearance rates, right? What percentage do most departments solve cases at? So you have your violent crime, you have your property crime. You blend those two together, and we send numbers to the FBI. So let me be clear: if we send our numbers to the FBI today, the police department is down about 15%. We have a 15% reduction in crime. So I've been here 3 years. I got here in the summer of 2018, and when I got here, Newport News had a 2% increase in crime. And before I go any further, I give all the credit to the men and women of this city, the citizens who live in this city, who live in our residents and our neighborhoods and our communities. And when I say the men and women of this department, I mean sworn and civilian both. But in the summer of 2018, we had a 2% increase in crime. By the end of 2018, we had a 5% reduction in crime. In 2019, we had a 9% reduction in crime. On top of that, 5%. Then in 2020, we had an 11% reduction in crime, almost 12% reduction. Today, if I were to send the numbers to the FBI halfway through the year, total crime in the city of Newport News, we're down 15%. We have a crime reduction of 15%. We're down in our robberies, we're down in our rapes. Aggravated assaults and homicides are the violent crimes that we're up in. Larcenies, thefts, auto theft, burglaries, we're down in. So overall, the city has a 50% reduction, but I always am going to focus more on those violent crimes and make sure I want to continue to push and make sure that we're focusing there. Robert, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Tony, one last question for me that weighs on my heart. I've heard nationally about resignations and early retirements of officers. How are we doing in Newport News? I really hope our great folks in uniform are considering the things in charge of current. Tony, let me tell you something, Sarah. Did you call and have people chime in tonight? Because this group is locked on. Tony, the point you just made concerns chiefs all around the country. I will tell you, we have 465 officers authorized in this department. I'm about 20 officers short. I have a class of 21 that get ready to graduate in August. I have another class of 21 that will graduate in November, and we started hiring for a class in September that will graduate January, February, February of next year. We run 3 academies a year. We lose people to retirement, and I have lost some. I don't want to lose people to other departments. Chief, I don't want to be in this department, I want to go work somewhere. That would tell me maybe I got to look internal here. Am I doing something wrong? Is there something? Or if I want to go back home to where I grew up, I can respect that. If I want to go to a smaller department, I don't want to run the number of calls. I get it. With military town, we have a lot of people that come here out of the military and may stay 5 or 6 years and then go somewhere else. I have a lot of senior officers, and I have the majority of this department is very, very young. I don't have a lot of officers in the middle. But I will tell you, I still have people coming and applying. Like I said, we're only 20 officers down. Most departments will, hey, you know what? When you start getting 10%, it's when you start to get a little bit of concern. You have to make some hard decisions. But we're like I said, we're 20 officers down, and we're looking to fill those. Now, I will admit to you, having 42 people in the academy, that they're hired, but they're not on the street yet, right? They got to go through 7-8 months of training, and then 3 months of field training. So it takes a long process. So it's important when we screen officers and bring officers in that I don't want somebody just going to be here 2 years. I'm spending a lot of time, a lot of effort. Some departments even have individuals sign contracts that they will stay 3 years to get their money back. People have mixed feelings. For me, right now, I don't want to force someone to be here if they don't want to be here. So I've elected not to do the contract. I try to create this as a family-like atmosphere and environment, but people have to make the right choice for them. I have had individuals who have come and said, you know what, this job isn't just for me. I've had individuals who've seen things that, hey, I can't deal with that. And I respect that. We lost one individual from our academy the first day that she went home and had a conversation with her young son, and she said, I just can't do this. And I get it. This job is challenging. It is demanding. You're going to miss birthdays and anniversaries. We don't just work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sometimes it seems like 25 hours a day. Work weekends, around the clock, holidays, right? It's hard. In the rain, in the cold, it's hard. But that's what makes it so great, because not everybody can do this job. And when I talk about running this department like a family, I value the people that come to work here. They're willing to make that sacrifice to serve other citizens, to make things better in their community. That matters. What we do, what officers do matters. And I think when I see that and I know the commitment they have, and to go to a scene to help someone who's injured, someone who's lost their life, to interact with that family and others that may stand in the back and yell things, that bothers me. It hurts me. And to see those officers stay professional, I appreciate the men and women that work here, sworn and civilian both. I appreciate the dispatchers that take calls and try to calm people down. I think we have the best dispatching in the country. I believe that our dispatchers should be considered first responders. They should have the same benefits that we have in the same type of retirement plan. They do phenomenal work, and they're the ones that pick up a phone and don't get to see what's happening and just do it all audio and verbal. They can de-escalate things. They are excellent, and I'm honored to work with them. But they're phenomenal people. Deborah, did you just type in "Go Yankees"? Did you just put that on the screen? I'm gonna get some white out. Sarah, I'm gonna white out. I got a marker right here. I'll hold this on right here. I'll mark that out. So I guess you're a baseball fan, Deborah. We're gonna have to have a conversation about that. But I'm learned through our training with bias-based policing that I don't let my biases from the New York Yankees affect how I police. So if I run into someone with a New York Yankees shirt, I may shake my head, shake their hand, and just shake my head. And they usually ask me, well, what team do you like? No, I say the Cincinnati Reds. And then they just start laughing at me. So, but it's all good. Hey, easy on the Yankees. Yeah, see what you started, Deborah? See what you started? I'm trying to have a conversation about speeding, and now we're talking about the Yankees. And Annie. Okay, Annie. All right. Did you put the, gotcha. Chief, you're amazing. I just love watching your lives all the way from New Hampshire. Thank you for your service. You're appreciated. Stay safe. Listen, Robin, my friend, be careful up there. Yeah, what's the weather like up there in New Hampshire? It's right toasty here. I'll tell you, I was just in Pensacola. 2 weeks ago. No, last week. And man, let me tell you, in Florida it was hot. But let me tell you why I was in Pensacola. All the things we've talked about here about what's going on in the department and things we're doing. If we go back to January of this year, Assistant Chief Mike Hudgens was hired by Pineville, North Carolina Police Department to run their department. It's a department just outside of Charlotte. Last week, Assistant Chief Eric Randall, did the administration side of the house and then moved over to the investigation side. He changed a lot of the way we do investigations. He was hired by the Pensacola Police Department to be their chief of police. That's two assistant chiefs here that have been hired in other departments in different states, right? And talking to Chief Randall, he had talked about some councilmen, and they said, we looked at Newport News and what you all are doing there. And if you do half of the things that you're doing in Newport News, you'll turn this city upside down. So I appreciate the men and women that work here. I think we're ahead, being proactive. We're always looking at better ways to do things. We're learning from other departments. I don't have all the answers, and I promise you we make mistakes. And when we do, we're going to be open and transparent. It's okay for us to apologize and admit we're wrong or to say we're sorry. And I think that people accept that. That's fair, right? But to see both of them, they teased me when I got here. First thing I did, I'm very visual. Now, I can't spell very well, but I'm very visual. And I ordered this huge dry erase board. And I put it in my office, and I'm like, what is that? So, man, I'm in there, and I'm writing, like, here's our staffing, here's our crime numbers, here's our strategies, right? I'm telling you, a month later, both of them, while they were here, ordered dry erase boards. Huge, right? I got a picture yesterday from my friend Chief Randall down in Pensacola. He sent me what do you call that, an emoji, right? A little face with smiley face laughing, right? The next picture was this big box. The next picture is him pulling out his new dry erase board in Pensacola, Florida. he took that from us in Newport News. But Chief Grinstead just shakes his head at us. But it's all in good fun, and it was just good to see them serve two great cities and great communities. And I cannot be more proud. I love those guys, and they did tremendous work here in the city for each of them over 20 years. Can volunteer with the department. Yeah, look, yes. How old is she? 13, 14 years old? Let me know. But yes, we can definitely we do a lot of things with youth. Um, it's a big passion of mine. We have the Young Adult Police Commissioner program. We have a Youth Leadership Academy. And I'm really moving for us to start doing some neighborhood cleanup days with the community and youth and citizens, and then have maybe some hamburgers or hot dogs on the grill afterward. Um, but yeah, I really want us to get back into the volunteer and working with youth. I think that's so important. Matter of fact, we have a community day tomorrow, Saturday, at Tricia and Dresden Lane, South Morrison area. Some trash talking. We're going to play some kickball with some youth. I'll have the recruits out there. They'll be all fired up, right? But there's a lot of city agencies, a lot of city resources that will be out as well. To hope people come out. There'll be some sack races. This is no lie, it's the truth. On my desk, you have a big bag of these balloons, right? You fill them up with water. We'll have some water balloon contests. I'm gonna have some water balloons out there. But it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna have some interaction. And that's one of the neighborhoods that we selected 3 neighborhoods to really focus on this summer, one in each precinct. So in Marshall Courts in our southeast community, Tricia and Dresden Lane, South Morrison area in our central, and then in the north precinct, they're still sort of finalizing that where we want to be. I know we do a lot of work in Aqueduct, but yeah, it's great. And I talk about these kids and youth, right? So any ceremony that you see us do, promotion ceremony, award ceremony, our police memorial, graduation ceremony, you will always see, if you go back and look over the last 3 years, you'll see a youth involved. They're reading a poem, they're singing a song, they're playing an instrument, they're our guest speaker, but I want them involved. I'm trying to send a message to the youth of this city that they do matter to me. But I'm also sending a message to this department that youth matter, right? That's our future. So tomorrow, I've got 3 cool events. The first one is at 10 o'clock. I want to thank Pastor Riddick and his church and parishioners at Gethsemane Baptist Church on Roanoke Avenue. We'll be hosting they're going to host our police promotion. Those that have been promoted over the last year and a half. They haven't had the opportunity to have their family pin a badge on them on their next level of promotion. Because of COVID, we weren't able to gather and do things together, but they deserve that time. They deserve that day together, and that's going to happen tomorrow. And I will tell you, I have 2 special guests coming. I'm going to keep that close to my chest. We will be streaming that, I believe. We're going to try at least. But there will be plenty of photographs, I guarantee you that. It's going to be a huge, but I have 2 very, very special people that are going to be in the audience tomorrow, and I am excited. So that's a surprise. Then after that, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to straighten up, fix my hair, and at 4 o'clock, I've got 22 teenagers in the Youth Leadership Academy that are going to graduate. Captain Morgan Tegens, Lieutenant Melissa Morgan, and especially Monica White have just spent time, the school resource officers, developing a program, interacting with them, all the different officers who've come in and taught and worked with those kids and interact with them. My friend Cameron, who chimed in a little earlier, they're going to graduate tomorrow, and I look forward to shaking their hand and giving them a certificate and just spending some time with them. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to put on the suit and tie, and the real deal, not the clip-on, the real deal. And we have a gala for our young adult police commissioners. Those are our high school, our six high schools in the city, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from each class that we work with and spend time with every Wednesday all year long. And we learn how, I use them to help me with interviews, to do youth forums, to interact and go speak to city council and the mayor, the vice mayor, that work with the three news outlets to learn how to do interviews, to speak at our award ceremonies and do things in the community. Uh, with COVID not getting able to have their prom, we're going to have a little gala tomorrow, and we've got a couple guest speakers there that are going to show up. So I'm excited. I like giving back and investing in our youth and investing in our community. But those are I've got a great day tomorrow. I can't wait. Probably won't be able to sleep then. I'll be so excited. Group that was, the group during the 80s music. Oh, I got you. There's about crime or police, but we will need to pray for the people in where the condos building just caved in. Oh, Deborah, is that something I have to look at? I haven't heard that yet. I have to look at that. Good thing you are still young and aren't too close to retirement. Yeah, that's good there. I appreciate that. Keith, got to stop losing staff to be the chiefs and others. You've got to stop losing staff to be chiefs in other cities. No, sir. Oh, yeah, you're right, Keith. I'm gonna call Chief Randall and Chief Hudgens, tell them that you said to come on back. Irene, and 3 times the defunding police, is it refreshing that MPD has new recruits for the academy? Irene, let's touch base about that, and we may go a little over, but as long as you guys, I'm not boring you. When we talk about defunding the police, a lot of those comments are about having other entities interact with situations where it may not be the best for police to be the first, right? Whether it's depression, homelessness, individuals that suffer drug addiction, mental illness, mental challenges. So when we talk about other entities to address that, I think that's great. However, it is something that other entities may not be equipped to do or may not be willing to do after a certain time frame, or it's challenging for them to do after a certain time frame. So if I work in the Department of Human Services, Social Services, we get a lot of our critical calls after 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. So now you're dealing with calling someone, getting some information, getting them up and to come to the scene or to talk us through what they'd like us to do. What we're going to do is we have hired some social workers on this department. They are here now. They're getting acquainted to the department, and then July 1, they're going to go over to Human Services. They're going to get trained by all the different resources, right? How do we get in touch with foster parents? How do we get child protective services, elderly abuse? How do we get food situation, housing after hours if someone's out in the element? How we drill some things with homelessness until we can get them wrapped around services around them. We've hired them. We've hired them to come in this department. I'm paying them out of our budget. That's bringing outside experts here. We have 2 domestic violence, Nisha and Cheryl. We brought them here. We pay them out of a police budget to help us do better with domestic violence. And people say, is it working? I can tell you, we're treating victims of domestic violence 1,000 times better. We're learning how to talk, how to approach them, how to work with them and help them in situations they need. With our fire department, again, Chief Hudgens, before he left, he created and stemmed the program of our CARES Act with clinicians and paramedics that will be responding to low priority calls of mental illness, depression, individuals that are homeless, right? That they have a direct relationship with the hospitals and where they can get treatment instead of just the first person they see showing up in a uniform. So when we talk about defunding the police, I really think it is different strategies dealing with some of the issues that routinely have been set in police's lap because we're here 24 hours a day. We'll let the police, people go to school for years to be psychologists and address and work with people who have some of those challenges. We give an officer about 8 to 10 hours, 16 hours at the most in the academy, right? But those are a lot of the calls we respond to. We had our ComStat meeting today. We're looking at crime, and I'll tell you, 50% of the robberies, the fights, the burglaries were domestic related. Domestic related. And we're responding to those type calls. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but I'm just saying, again, it goes down to the behavior. It's not individuals running around breaking into homes. It's, I've been locked out, I changed the locks, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-girlfriend, my partner, whatever. So defunding is really bringing on different resources to work with the law enforcement and police department to bring better service. And it's other entities and city resources getting more involved. I think it's the right move. Keith, Red Sox. Okay, I can do a little. I can get a little bit better. Roderick, great day. Chief saw you at Port Warwick yesterday. I was in the grass. Roderick, man, I'm sorry. I hope I got to see you or wave to you. I was out there. It was a great event. Good to see people out and interacting with them, and looked like everybody had a great time. I'm going to delete the Yankee Dallas Cow. Oh my gosh. Oh, Rob, you're saying it's hot up in New Hampshire. I get you. I know you guys got some cold winters though. When you're shoveling that 5 or 6 inches of snow, I'll be thinking about you. Tony, thanks, Chief. Tell the folks they're special. My household and can't sit in front of my house to decompress, relax, the time, get ready for the next call. Tony, that sounds good. I'll take you up on that. My favorite Yankee is from Paul. There you go. All right, I can take that. All right, Paul O'Neill. I'll get out of here. We love air. Oh my gosh. All right, Vicky. Hi, Chief. Can you scroll down just a little bit, Sarah? The other way. Hi, Chief. It was nice seeing you yesterday at Port Warwick. The speeding through residential neighborhoods and tailgating is horrible. Also, there needs to be some kind of campaign against littering. Each day I witness somebody throwing the trash out of the car window. Yeah, so 3 things. Let me first say, Vicky, it was great up there at Port Warwick. I had a really good time interacting with the community. Great band, good music, and just good vibes up there and saying hello to our citizens. It was great. Second, again, littering, right? And if we interject police, you start talking about fines, and then it's people taking ownership of their community. I completely get it. And then speeding. Yep, I understand. Like I said, we bought some speed trailers and we bought some cameras that we can put in that can hone in on license plates to try to address some of that. Yeah, absolutely. Those are all good points. Uh, praying for those people in Dade County. Yeah, Roderick. Somebody else posted some. I have to look that up when I get off here. I haven't heard, but it sounds like something. It sounds like some people got hurt. So, Cameron, Spider-Man. Cameron, you're killing me, man. Aren't you supposed to be doing some homework? Uh, Roderick, Saturday. So we're going to be out there around 10 o'clock. We'll be there in the field in the grass area at South Morrison. He doesn't know it yet, but myself and Chief Grinstead are going to be doing some umpiring. And let me tell you something. You want to see some police officers get fired up when a fifth grader throws them out at first base and kickball, and they think they beat it out. Oh, let me tell you, we have some good times, my friend. Chief Grinstead, he gets into it. We're going to be out there doing some umpiring and having some fun, so I'm excited. 3 awesome events. Have an amazing time. Robin, thank you. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to it, to interact with individuals and families, to see their loved ones who worked really hard to get promoted. They deserve their day. Then the 22 young people downstairs, and then the gala tomorrow night. It's going to be great. I got you. I hear you, Annie. Laura, please do something about the excessive number of panhandlers in the city. Laura, again, so is that where we need to be focusing police resources? I know it's a concern, it's an issue, and they are aggressive, and some get in the middle of the street, and there's some that really need help. There's some, I think, that is struggling with mental illness and don't have a place to go. And then I think there's some that take advantage. We see them, and whichever it is, we do get complaints. We try to interact. My hope is that we'll be able to interact with those individuals and get them resources that they need, so they don't have to stand and rely on others to help them, that we can get them some resources and help that they need, and just determining what that is. But I've had a couple complaints about that in 2 or 3 really areas where I get multiple complaints. So yeah, you're not falling on deaf ears. I got you. We don't have the problems that other cities have, like Virginia. Roderick, I don't want to compare us to any other cities. We got our own issues, and we're going to work with our community to address them and fix them. I do, though, I will admit, I do try to learn from what other cities are doing and what's successful. What are some things that they wish they would have done differently that we can learn from? We get a lot of after action reports about things, about how we can do things better. So yeah, absolutely. Thelma, really think we need to stop praising the loud. Another city might want to steal. Oh, I was like, oh my gosh, Thelma's mad at me. Chief Drew really tries to communicate with the city resident. Thank you, Thelma. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And we'll fight to keep him. Thanks for helping me understanding that. No, Roderick, those are great questions. And it's the same thing. We have that conversation with officers about, oh, Chief, they wanted to fund us, and what we're trying to do is spend the money in the right place to get the right people hooked up with those in need, right? And it's It's a great concept. We just have to all work together to make it happen. We all have to take accountability. We all have to take ownership. Your cold winters and lots of snow. Robin, take care. Have a good one. School's out. Nice try. Lieutenant Morgan, if you're watching, find Cameron an assignment. Maybe a 500 word essay on the city of Cincinnati. See what he can do for me. Hey, Chief, can someone add me to the email list for community events? Yes, Ms. Brumfield, that's great. I'll get with Paddleford and we will get that together. That is a great idea. That's a great idea. You should do some Facebook Live videos from the 3 events. So yeah, look, Keith, they talked to me about, look, this, I don't know, TikTok, Twitter, and all this stuff. Look, I would do that and be sending it all over the place, man. There'll be some people out there taking some pictures and sending, but I don't know if you want to see me on the kickball field, brother. It ain't pretty. It's not pretty. But I will tell you, I'll be making fun of other people, right? Because they'll be teasing me. On the paneling, I've seen these signs where panhandlers say, please do not encourage pain. Yeah, so it's hard, Deborah, because you know people are in need and you want to help, and then there's some that help them may enable them to stay in that situation and not take the next step. It's really getting to know that individual, what the situation is, and what resources. But it's a complex problem. You're absolutely right. So Keith, the new chief in Hampton gets sworn in on July the 9th. I will be there. I look forward to it. I've talked to him a couple times on the phone, and Chief Talbert, I guarantee you, he will accept the challenge to walk in Newport News, and for me to walk with him in Hampton, or I'm just going to come start walking around in Hampton and say I'm looking for you. I'll be waiting for him outside headquarters. Now I think we'll have a great relationship. I know he's eager to get started and moving into a new area, and it'll be good. Me as well. Great, Deborah. Okay, we can do that. Camp Cincinnati Reds is all I know. That's all right. 500 words, Cameron. That's due tomorrow, 8 a.m. But look, I want to. We talked about walking talks. One of the things I'm doing. Let me just hit on a couple of these things. We talked to you about crime. We talked about our citizens at Police Academy's promotion ceremony, community engagement events. It's so important to me. I drive my assistant Donna. I drive her crazy. On Fridays, I kind of block off 2 hours, and I want to go out to a community and walk. So Friday evening, I walk in different areas. If anybody, hey Chief, we'd like you to walk our neighborhood, like to come walk with us or walk with me, that'd be great. If not, that's fine too. I'm not trying to go up and knock on doors and interrupt people. I'm trying to get my steps in, interact with the community, see different areas. Now there are some neighborhoods that I really want to see that have been struggling a little bit with crime issues. I want to be in those areas. I want to interact with people in those areas. I enjoy going to places where there's playgrounds and seeing kids and interact with them. We got to see a new basketball court dedicated this week at the Boys and Girls Club. That was awesome. At the Hampton Avenue Club down in Newport News. Nancy Lieberman Foundation was there. It was just great. And she does so much. An Olympian, professional women's basketball player in the Hall of Fame, and now coaching. And so we had a great time. And we teased each other, right? But we had a really good time. But yeah, so on Fridays I enjoy getting out walking a little bit. So if anybody has a neighborhood they'd like me to come walk or spend some time with, I'd be glad to. And I have gone way over and held you all way too long, so I apologize. Deborah, thank you. I appreciate that. But I do think it's important to have these conversations and interact. And I just want to thank you and the citizens for what you do. Please be safe. Look out for each other. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll do this again next month. But yeah, I appreciate it. So before I get off, I want to say to the men and women in this department, I appreciate you. Thanks, Keith. I appreciate you, and what you do matters. What you do makes a difference in individuals' lives and communities and neighborhoods in this city. And not just those that are sworn, but also the civilian that work behind the scenes here in media relations, the videos that you put together, the time that you spend to document what we're doing, to get out information to the community, to individuals and records who work past 5 o'clock, those that work in our dispatch area. It's important. I value you. You matter to me. So even those that are here that clean this building after we go home and have it ready for us when we come in the next morning, it's just like a family, right? It's like a machine that keeps moving. And try to find better ways to improve the service that we give our citizens, and better ways to police our community and stay focused on the community policing process. to some Stony Brook Apartments. Okay, great. Cameron, have a good one, my friend. I look forward to seeing you a couple times tomorrow. Robin, be good. See you next month. I'll be right here. You'll be up in New Hampshire. Thanks for another. Annie, thank you so much. Again, God bless you all. Love you guys. Please be safe. Thank you for letting me work in your city, and we'll do this again next month. Take care.